South Africa take on the West Indies in the first T20 on Saturday. I think it's back-to-back games, Saturday and Sunday, and then on Tuesday. So it's three T20 series. And on today's show, we're going to be selecting the 11, who we think should be in the 11 going into this particular Test series. We're also going to be trying get through Rob Walters' press conference as well and try and have a listen there to hear what he has to say. And what he had to say in the press conference, I think there might be some interesting points in that are made inside of that. So we'll have a look at that as well. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things I'd like you guys to please do, and that's subscribe to the channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Also, what I want you guys to do is please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. Then I'd also want you guys to please help us promote and grow South African cricket by becoming a patron today. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And then also smash the like button and comment and share as well. Without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's video. I'm looking forward to discussing everything with you guys. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your preview show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with the first T20I between South Africa and the West Indies. We will be doing these shows for the next month a lot earlier, guys, because it is now currently Ramadan. It's the fast for me, so it makes more sense for me to do it before I break my fast than after. There's too many things that I need to get through and to do. So please bear with me and support us with regards to that we will be doing our shows a little earlier. So it will be anywhere between 5 and 5:30. The first couple of shows will obviously be around about 5:30. And as the days get a little bit earlier with regards to sunset, we'll reduce it. We'll make it a little earlier, the shows. But I hope you guys are okay with that and you guys will support us still at the same way and continuously comment in the live chat and join our shows. So first and foremost, let me just start with there's a couple of things that I would want to do today's show, and that is obviously I want us to discuss the 11 in the live chat. I want to see you guys and what you guys have to say with regards to the 11s and who you want to select for this particular game. I think that's all things that I think that we should be going through. But I think what we also need to do is go through Rob Walters' press conference. I think that's a very important starting point as well. Before we maybe get into the 11s, let's do that. But to give you guys an indication of what the squad is like for the T20s, we've got Aiden Markram as captain, Quinton de Kock, Riley de Sou, Tristan Stubbs, Heinrich Klaassen, David Miller, Reza Hendricks. Spinners are Bjorn Fortuin and Tabré Shamsi. All-rounders are Sasanda Magala, Wayne Parnell and Marco Jansen. And the seamers are Lungin Gidi, Anich Nokia, and Kagiso Rabada. So first and foremost, let's just do the Rob Walter press conference. I think that's the first thing we can do. Let's listen to it and hear what he had to say. Together.
Just on the T20 series, the bigger picture this year is obviously the 50th World Cup and possibly qualifying for it. But where does this set of matches fit in with your broader planning around that?
Yeah, we obviously took the opportunity for the first two 50-over games against the West Indies as a chance to give some younger guys an opportunity to give them international experience and obviously broaden the squad as we look forward, both this year and in the 4-year cycle. But for me, this T20 series also provides an opportunity to get guys like Kagiso Rabada, Heinrich Nokia back into the mix, Quinton de Kock, Riley Rousseau, and get those guys ready for the Netherlands games in a way. But as part of a T20 competition, we understand how important these T20s are as well. I think there's 35 ODIs in the 4-year cycle and about 40 T20s. So there's not a hell of a lot of T20s in between now and World Cup. So every event is important and an important opportunity.
So what do you sort of mention those guys? What do you specifically looking for them to do over the course of these 3 games? Do they play over 3, especially the bowlers?
Potentially not, given that back-to-back games over the weekend, and then obviously 2 days, so 3 games in the 5-day period. But certainly for them to get a competitive edge back, get out in the middle, compete, put their skills under pressure. These guys are obviously seasoned pros now, so it's really about getting back into competitive environment, really.
My final one is on Aiden. I mean, we've got the cricketing captain of 50 over side the other day. What are your thoughts on how you performed there in that role, and what are you looking forward to see from him over these 3 matches?
I thought he did a very good job, and not surprising. As I said, I'm fully aware of his leadership capabilities, so I thought he marshaled the troops nicely, made some nice tactical decisions around bowling changes, which was good to see. And certainly looking just for more of the same. I think the SA20 gave us a little window into his style and his ability from a leadership point of view. So I don't think we'll see anything different. It's just sort of a different set of troops out on the field with him.
Thanks, Stu. Sunil?
Coach, welcome back to Supersport Park. What does it mean for you just to be back this time as process coach?
Yeah, it's always great to drive through the doors. In many ways, it feels a little bit like coming back home, sort of my cricket home, I guess, having played all my cricket here and then done all my coaching and training here as well. So certainly a great feeling coming back in the gates and to be part of, head coach of the Proteas now and then running out on the park on Saturday. That'll be pretty special.
Great, thanks, Nene. We'll now switch to online, and I see we've got a question from Johan, followed then by Khalid.
I just want to double check some of the Indian players who played in this cup in the ODIs are some of them already available now?
Sorry, I didn't quite get that.
Johan, can you just go again there, please?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
It sounds better now.
Yes.
Just to double check, some of the guys who missed out on the ODIs, are they ready to play now? Are they sorted?
We'll still be running some fitness tests today. Certainly, they've made progress, but there are some of the injuries on sort of niggly areas in terms of split webbings in hands and that sort of stuff. So fielding, in particular, is the touch point there. So the next 2 days will be sort of their fitness test to check their availability.
Thanks, Johan. Telford?
Thanks, Lucy. Rob, and sorry to hear about the death of your father the other day. I just wanted to check if Ed hadn't done so well during SA20, is that what clinched the deal for him as the captain, or might you have picked somebody like David Miller? So how important was the SA20 in making him the captain?
Interesting question.
Certainly not a clincher. So I've had my eye on Aiden for a very long time from a leadership point of view, and just watched him go about his work. I think the fortunate thing from a SA20 point of view is that we had 4 skippers that are all involved in the team. So we've got some nice leadership capability in the side. Part of Aiden's appointment is also looking forward, understanding where he is in his cricket cycle and how many years hopefully he'll be dedicating to the Proteas. So a number of factors of which SA20 would have contributed, really just affirming what I had originally thought.
Okay, so that's an interesting one. Obviously, that's not the complete reason why, but it obviously played a massive factor in them selecting Aiden as captain, because, I mean, it can't be the only reason, because in T20 cricket, he has performed pretty well for South Africa, even in the World Cup. So, yeah, good question, though, I think.
Telford, we'll go Chitty, then Firdous.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for the opportunity. Coach, with the top 5 in the batting order, essentially picking itself. We've got Quinton, Aiden, Riley, Lisa, and Heinrich. Could you tell us, would there be any, or what rather would be the roles for players like Tristan Stubbs and Marco Jansen, who can also do some things with the bat as well?
Amir, we just lost the back end of your question there after you referred to Tristan Stubbs and Marco Jansen.
Yeah, what roles will they have, if any, as well as other local batsmen who can wield the willow a little bit in this next 3 men?
Yeah, look, for me, Tristan sits in the space of being, a backup T20 batter who we want to provide opportunities to here and there, just in case he will be called upon. Guys like Marco and Wayne Parnell, for me, are the guys who sit in the all-round space, who provide some firepower with the bat at the back end, but perform a dual role in the side. So slightly different roles in the team, but certainly, whether it's now or along the course of the year, like we've already given Tristan an opportunity, we'll continue to do that. We're fully aware of his firepower. He's shown that time and time again. So it's just choosing when and where we'll use that opportunity.
Just a confirmation, guys. I did ask the media manager of the Proteas whether Temba has been added to the squad, and she said no, he has not been added to the squad. So, that's a confirmation from the media manager. Let's continue.
Yes, Amir, for those.
Hi, Rob. Rob, at the end of the one-day series, both Temba and Heinrich spoke a little bit about the kind of new batting blueprint and their 2 innings in that series as being an illustration. I mean, Temba didn't say innings, but we could see 2 things going forward. For you, what is this kind of new, maybe you haven't given it a name, but how would you describe the way that you want your batters to go about their business in white ball cricket? And I'm assuming it's similar-ish.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to go down the road of calling it volleyball or something like that. But no, from my point of view, I think I suppose its practical sense is what you saw. It's just giving the guys the freedom to express themselves, take on the aggressive options, trying to understand what the game requires and how they can best, utilize the skill set that they have. So, we're going to bump our heads a couple of times trying to find our sweet spot. And, we were 4 wickets down relatively early. But I suppose part of the blueprint looks like Heinrich playing that the way he did, coming in with the team in trouble. But it's not necessarily looking to stabilize the game to then try and win it at the end, but to just try and keep up with our aggressive intent and nature. But all the while understanding that, the requirements of the game are going to change. The situation of the game is going to change. And for me to keep pushing the batters and the bowlers to understand what skill set do they require in order to maximize the most aggressive version of what the game needs at that time.
Thanks for those.
And then just to...
Sorry. No stress. I go ahead with follow-up those.
Thanks. Just in terms of the...
Yo, what is going on with the connection?
You go ahead and think, okay, let me start getting some things in place, or you just kind of see what happens?
I missed the 3/4 of your question, so it'll be tough for me to answer.
So we're just having Wi-Fi technical issues in the venue that we're hosting this press conference. For those, would you mind just giving it one more go?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Rob, I was just asking, with the T20 World Cup anyway, how do you approach long-term planning in a short series like this? Is it about building some sort of foundational blocks, or are you just wanting the guys to go and have some fun?
No, it's always probably a little bit more serious than just having some fun. But I think, again, it's figuring out what does the blueprint look like in the T20 format of the game. For me, obviously, the risk taking does escalate a little bit. Obviously, your time is less, so you have to take a few more risks in order to get to where you want to get to. So, but also from a bowling point of view is how do we aggressively influence the game in T20 cricket, which looks a little bit different to 50 over cricket. So certainly we're always trying to learn. We're always trying to fine tune what the end point will look like. For me, again, the games provide an opportunity for our players to sort of openly assess the conditions in front of them and understand their best version of their own games on that surface at that time. So trying to create context for these guys to execute their skills. Obviously, a certain level of pressure that we want to perform better at. And so it's all part of the bigger picture, in my opinion. For now, there in the T20 space hasn't been a huge exploration of new names, purely because it is in essence part of prepping guys who haven't been playing and who've been rested and who have been injured for the Netherlands series. And the time for exploration, given that our T20 is only next year, will probably come later on in the year.
Thanks for those. We'll look to bring it back into the room with the last two questions. Shawnee, you want to kick us off, then we'll go with Stu.
Right. Thanks, Tracy. Hi, Rob. You talk about the bigger picture, and obviously we've seen you bringing in newer players for the ODI series. You've also seen South Africa carry a bit of baggage in terms of selections. You come in less than a year before a World Cup. Just in terms of balancing out who you've brought in, who's already there, just the sort of selection issues that have happened over the years. How difficult is it for you, and also with not a lot of cricket to go before that World Cup?
Yeah, obviously, any issues you speak of before me, sort of, I leave in the past. For me, it's every player's got a blank sheet with me, and I request the same for them. It's just trying to communicate very well with the players, keep them fully understanding of where they sit, what their requirements are, what the roles are. And yeah, the time frame from between now and the World Cup, obviously there is not a hell of a lot of cricket in that time. However, for me, the bulk of the squad are guys who've played cricket for South Africa a fair deal. This one-day side has played together a fair bit, and whilst they have maybe been inconsistent from a results point of view, I think they've played some pretty good cricket, and the England series is probably a testament to that, and a shortened series against the West Indies. So yeah, I mean, there not a lot of time, but just some consistency, good communication, and leaving the past in the past is probably the recipe there.
Thanks, Stu.
Rob, just on one particular player, the Drake Shams, who seems in the last year to have kind of gone up and down in terms of when he's selected and when he's not selected. I know he's quite a bubbly character, but does his confidence kind of need to be built up? And what more would you like to see from him so that we see him operate on a more consistent basis?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a good question. I think every player requires confidence, right? So it's about finding a method to instill that. The message I try to tell the players is it shouldn't only be about being selected. You've got a wider role to play, and every player's got a role to play in terms of developing their skills and forging their own games forward. So to Braze, we've had some really good conversations around what he requires in order to stay relevant in 50 over cricket. I think he's really shown his mark in T20 cricket, being successful pretty much wherever he's played the game. 50 over cricket is a bit more trialing, given the fielding restrictions in the middle, and trying to stay competitive and aggressive and take wickets in that period of the game can be tough for spinners, and we've seen wrist spinners be very effective but also struggle at times. So for me, it's I know what he's capable of. I saw it initially, and so it's really about him just finding that space again to show his best skill, but also bring to the party from his side a nice high work ethic, a strong investment into his skill. There's a few little technical adjustments that we're working on. Like any bowler, the T20 format of the game does squeeze you into some bad habits. Purely because of what you're trying to do, and that's different to what you're trying to do in the middle of the game, 50 over cricket. So yeah, just working on finding some real technical prowess again in terms of spinning the ball and having a nice attacking mindset, but understanding what that looks like in the middle.
Great, thank you very much. That concludes today's video off. Thank you very much, Rob, for joining us. And to
Guys, I
those
just want to
online as well,
rewind to
we'll
that
see
spot
you
about
tomorrow at
Tristan
1:00
Stubbs quickly, if you don't
Central.
mind, because I wanted to just listen to that again.
Thank you.
What he said there, I think it was around here.
In white ball cricket, and I'm assuming it's similar-ish.
When and where we'll use that opportunity. me are the guys that
Let's hear it quickly.
being,
There's other local batsmen who can wield the willow a little bit in these next 3 men.
Yeah, look, for me, Tristan sits in the space of being, a backup T20 batter who we want to provide opportunities to here and there, just in case he will be called upon. Guys like Marco and Wayne Parnell, for me, are the guys that sit in the all-round space who provide some firepower with the bat at the back end, but perform a dual role in the side. So slightly different roles in the team, but certainly, whether it's now or along the course of the year, like we've already given Tristan an opportunity, we'll continue to do that. We're fully aware of his firepower. He's shown that time and time again. So it's just choosing when and where we'll use that opportunity.
Okay, I understand. Okay, cool. I'm fine with that, actually, to be honest with you. Just to give my 2 cents on that. I did think that Tristan, like the younger players, I feel need to be blooded in to these teams over a period of time. I don't think that we need to force them into the side immediately. They're still very young. And when you have the likes of David Miller, Heinrich Klaassen, etc., it's not necessarily to push the agenda of these young players straight away. I think having him as a backup batter in situations where you really desperately need him, when there's maybe an injury as well, or maybe they see a weakness in the opposition that he can exploit, then use him. But I like that they're thinking about every single position and every single player before just throwing boy layers in willy-nilly. I'm going to try to find the press conference you are talking about, Lawrence, when you're talking about the Temba presser. I have the audio file here. I didn't actually know that there was a Temba presser afterwards. It was so late when they sent it through. I only uploaded Heinrich Klaassen to the channel. So I don't know if you can maybe tell me around about where it was where you said it. That will really help a lot. Yeah, it's gonna take forever for me to find this now. So yeah, I'm not gonna go through that right now, but from what the media manager told me, Timba hasn't been added to the squad, so it is quite confusing, Lawrence, because I do believe you when you say that. You maybe said that in the presser. Okay, let's get into some of the live chat. Let's get into to see who you guys want to see play. Is Riza fit to play? Will he play? Rob said that some of the people are still not 100%. He's not sure yet. They have a fitness. They have a couple of 2 days for as their fitness test almost to check. Khalid, bro, at what position will Markram bat? I think he would bat at 4 or 5, in my opinion. Most likely 4. Khalid wearing a Cape Town jersey. Yeah, I am sorry, guys. I just felt like wearing a sports jersey today, and I found this one, so I just wore it. Lawrence giving his 11. He says his 11 is Quentin de Kock, Riza, Rousseau, Markram, Klaassen, Miller, Parnell, Fortuin, Rabada, Nokia, and Nkidi. I like this. I might just play Magala as well and maybe drop Nkidi and play Magala as well because I want to see what Magala can do, not because I don't believe Nkidi is good enough. So just to have a 7-8 all-rounder vibe, and see what he can actually do, and then play Fortuin at 11. But I like this lineup. I hope that Riza's fit, though. Dex saying Quentin, Riza, Riley, I think. Aiden, you're making it very hard for me to read this. David, Heinrich, Marco at 7. Bjorn at 8. Sisanda at 9. KG at 10. And Anas at 11. I like that lineup too. I would like Stubbs and Magara to be given opportunities. Says Pratik. I don't want Temba to play in T20s or Magara again. Not one team to focus on ODIs and tests only. Um, really want us to give the Dutch a hammering of a lifetime, says Dex. Excited to see Helm. Yes, me too. Lorenzo saying, been saying select Klaassen ahead of Stubbs in limited overs cricket, and I've been shouted at. Seems like Rob agrees. So Tristan is sole batting replacement for the series. I think more, not replacement, but backup. Because I think they want to, like he said, he wants a 7 and 8 in Magala and Wayne Parnell. He thinks that's more valuable into the team and the balance of the team. So I think that's kind of means that obviously he's looking at David Miller and Klaassen as key players. When I look at the squad over here, I mean, Riley Rousseau is also very important. So I can see it this three at the top, Aiden, Quinton, and Riley opening the batting together. Actually, if Riza's not fit, that's also another opportunity, possibility. And then having Heinrich Klaassen and David Miller in that mix as well. So it's going to be interesting what they're going to do with Aiden. Is he going to be a floater that can move around according to what they need? Is he going to have a specific position in the side, which I think he should have? But if Riza Hendricks is not fit tomorrow, then it's going to be interesting to see what they do. There was an article quoting Timber in the press. I'll try to DM you the screenshot. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you. I need that. I didn't upload it because I missed it completely. So yeah, you can please DM that to me. That would help a lot. Okay, Riley is too inconsistent, really hit and miss. I've been saying that for years, guys. For a very long time, I've been saying that that's the case. Not the type of player that scores every single game, and I think that in the number 3 position, particularly, you need someone that can be consistent. Look at Sky Yadav. I mean, one of the most consistent batters in the world at the moment when it comes to his position. I think we should have Jason Smith or Jones as batting all rounder. The problem with Jason is that Jason doesn't bowl enough for the Dolphins to add him as an all-rounder. At the moment, he's like a batter. I want to see him bowl more overs as well. I want to see Magala play before the IPL. Me too. And that's why I want to see a 7 and 8 with Magala and Wayne Parnell together. I'm scared of Wayne Parnell at 7. I feel like he never does well with the bat. I think Riley should open and Aiden should bat at 3. That's also a good option. I wouldn't mind seeing that as well. Batting all-rounder is what we need in all formats. We do. It's something that we're really struggling with. I've tried to look around the country and tried to look domestically to try and find which players are available as number 7s. There aren't many. So I'm hoping that Wian Mulder steps up now and proves shows what he's capable of. Because that will do a hell of a lot for South African cricket if he can sort that out and become the player that we all know he can be. But this squad is quite thin. With 1 or 2 injuries, we in a little bit of trouble. So I wonder if they do have any reserves waiting to be added to the squad, like Lawrence has suggested that Temba could possibly be one of those reserves to step into the squad. But if Riza's not available, then I can only see Aiden Markram opening the batting with Quinton and Riley. But I'm also not very confident on Riley. Like he does seem to be the type of guy that isn't consistent. You'll get something out of him now and again. Obviously, that's what it means to be inconsistent. And like I always used to say, like he's a player that has all the potential and ability in the world to be destructive, but just sometimes doesn't come off. Khalid, why was Rassi dropped? I don't know the reason for it. Perhaps they feel that they have too many of similar batters that have slow starts or take their time to get in, and they want a little bit more of explosive players and younger players in the side. The only reason I can think of with regards to that, because Rassi has been a pretty decent T20 white ball player for us, particularly ODIs, yes, but he has been good in T20s as well. Just waiting on Lawrence's uh, DM. Um, Maybe we go with Smith in squad and then he starts bowling. Smith. Anyway, excited to see Riley Russo or Russo, as the subcontinent calls him. I think that what I think we need that batting all rounder. Wait, I think that batting all rounder is right in front of us, Markram. Interesting point. I personally think Markram can be our JP Dumini. It's an interesting point. He could be that batting all rounder we're talking about. Um, yeah, you're right. In that perspective, he could possibly be that. The only concern about it is that we want, probably because he bats in the top order, we want that person. We want a person at 7 that can also bowl. I know you favor Lorenzo. I know you favor the 7 batter sometimes in some occasions. I'm not sure if it's in this format that you would like to see 7. I know in Test cricket you like 7, and I agree with you over there. But in T20 cricket, I don't think it's necessarily needed to have 7 batters. So having a number 7 that can bowl is very important, but also that can hit the ball long. So we need to actually have to find a way to find someone that can be the future of that number 7 role in all formats. There aren't many that are putting up their hands, generally speaking, at the domestic level for us to sit there comfortably and say, you know what, this is our next number 7. I'm a big fan of Jason Smith, but he needs to bowl more for the Dolphins. I'm a big fan of Vian Mulder, but we need to get that consistency with the bat because he's a good bowler. I like Evan Jones, but Evan Jones hasn't really lived up to the name yet. He hasn't showed us the same. Oh, he has sent it, he said. Did you send it to me or did you send it to Cricket Fanatics? I did. Where did you send it, bro? On Twitter, Instagram, or where did you send it? I didn't get anything on Twitter yet, unless I'm going bloody psycho here. Yeah, I'm looking for it. I can't find it here, bro. And I didn't block you. Like, serious. Lawrence, I'm even going to your name. Ish. I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I haven't gotten anything. I don't know what is going on. But yeah, like I said, we need to find that number 7. No, only Teskika love the 7 batters idea. Yes, I thought so. Aiden is our best batsman in the team, in the test team, if you really have a cricketing sense. George Linde is number 7. You see, I like George Linde. I don't have anything against him. But when it comes to consistency with a bat, like, I have an issue with that. George hasn't really necessarily shown it when he's gotten an opportunity. And he doesn't do it consistently in for his teams that he plays for as well. Now, do you want consistency? Do you want consistency from your player? Yeah, Lawrence. I don't have any messages from you. It's only a message that I sent to you. So I haven't gotten anything from you. Just to show you that. Those are 2 messages that I sent you. So I don't know what's happening. Twitter's bugging. Um, can't understand why coaches are ignoring Linda option at 7. Oh, yeah, I was talking about that. Now, you don't necessarily need the consistency at 7, maybe, as you need in other positions in the top order. But when George has been given an opportunity, he hasn't necessarily taken it every single time. But it doesn't mean that he's not a good player, and it doesn't mean that he doesn't deserve an opportunity. I'm not sure why they haven't picked George Linder, and I don't understand why none of the journalists at the grounds asked him that as well. When it comes to George, so the next time I get an opportunity to talk to Rob, I'm going to ask him about George and see what his answer is with regards to that. Trickery from from Lawrence says Tex. Is Bayes Swanepoel considered as colored player? No, he's a white player as far as I know. We don't have a proper number 7, so we have to try options, and that's true. We have to try people. Um, it's weird that we haven't produced a number 7 in cricket in a long time. I mean, there is someone on the radar in Mapungwana, but I think he does need to improve his bowling a lot more, get a lot more consistency, putting the ball on the spots, etc., learning, getting some variations under his belt. But he's a very talented player, and I have high hopes for him for the future. And I'm sure that they are looking at him too, the coaches, both Shukri and Rob, with regards to both formats, because obviously I feel that they're both involved with selection when it comes to that. What I didn't tell you guys is the time that the game starts tomorrow. So South Africa and the West Indies, I think, starts at, I just had it now in front of me. It's at 4 o'clock, I think, in the afternoon, which is a strange time. A strange time for South Africa to have a T20 game. They normally don't have games that early in the afternoon or evening. Let me just double check that I'm correct, though. You can obviously see that today is the first day of fast. How tired I am, guys, and slow. Crazy. I sent it over to Click for Netflix this time. That's a screenshot I saw on Twitter. I haven't received it, Lawrence. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's my side or it's your side. It's probably my side. Yeah, I didn't get it from you. That's high. That's very strange. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with my Twitter. If I didn't get it from there either. Climate conditions are hopefully good against the Dutch. Yeah, that's a massive thing. Oh, you posted it on your Twitter as well. Okay, cool. Let me check your Twitter then. I need more quotes from this article to see. Maybe he's training with him, but I don't think. But he's not part of the squad according to the media manager. So we have to take the media manager's word for it, I think. I saw the headline. Yes, thank you. Yeah. So let's get into what I think that the 11 will be, or what I would like to see at the 11. I already said that they're playing Saturday and Sunday. I know that. Um, which is weird as well. But they're playing 2 p.m. in the afternoon, which is a very weird time as well. The first and second one is in Centurion, and the third one is at Johannesburg, and then they play 6 p.m. That's on a Tuesday. So I guess they want to get a full crowd in there and as many people in there as possible. But a 2 p.m. start for a T20 game is quite weird for me. I'm normally used to watching either um, an evening game, starting at 5 or maybe starting at 6 or maybe even a night game. So Saturday and Sunday is the first two games. And then obviously on Tuesday is the third T20. So it's going to be quite tricky for me to do a preview show before the second game. So it's going to be very interesting to see that. To see how I'm going to fit that all in. We'll probably have to do a review and a preview show all in one. Pricing is too high. Can't understand why. Yeah, the pricing is high, but they did say that you need to go into the actual post, not just look at the overall amount. So on the Ticket Pro, whatever the site's name is, they show you between this and this. They don't, like, for example, they'll say between 50 Rand and 400 Rand. But if you actually go into the actual post and you click on the seats, it will be a little cheaper, I think. But still, it's quite expensive, especially for kids. I think it's like 150 for kids to get in. It's like ridiculous. It's more expensive than the Blummen movies. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed. So don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, subscribe, and click that notification bell for all future videos. What I also want you guys to please do is download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And I'm busy working on the next issue as we speak. I'm starting to put everything together and finalizing that magazine and getting to you guys as soon as possible. What I also need you guys to do is to help us promote and grow South African cricket by becoming a patron today. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And also go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching. And I'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Stay safe and enjoy the rest of your evening. And to everybody that's having Ramadan Kareem. And I hope you guys have a very blessed month. Peace out, everyone.